My friends, dear fellow Hoosiers, we are only a few feet away from the office of the governor, and I hope he's hearing us. We are not far away from the House chambers. My message to the Speaker of the House, my message to the governor, if there's any time to place country and state over political transactions and not solve the state of Indiana, not sell the state of Indiana to the highest bidder in Washington, D.C., that it is this moment, stand for integrity. Mr. Governor and Mr. Speaker, know your positions are not more important than the lives of Hoosiers. This morning, I'm happy to tell you that we fight every day the good fight on behalf of our constituents. This morning, I filed a piece of legislation to prohibit mid-decade redistricting in the state of Indiana. And let me tell you this, while we understand it's a political uphill battle to pass such legislation in Indiana, I did meet with Republicans and I made it very clear. More than 50 or 60% of Hoosiers who oppose redistricting deserve to have their voices heard in election committee. And if the House is going to represent one voice of Hoosiers who may support redistricting, then why are they afraid of representing the other half or more who oppose it? I've said it very frequently. Whether Republicans or Democrats or Libertarians or Independents, any political party in the United States that cannot stand on the merits of its ideas is unworthy of governing. If the governor and the speaker and President Trump, if they think that their policies are popular, why not run on them? If President Trump and the governor and the speaker, if they think that they lowered inflation in Indiana, run on that and let's see how that plays out in 2026. If they think that they resolved the child care crisis and 20,000 children waiting on the Child Care Development Fund, if they think their idea is to give vouchers to the ultra-wealthy, making more than $250,000 a year, if they think that giving $40 billion to Argentina at the expense of Indiana, if they think that electric bills are affordable, if they think that they resolve the property tax issue in this state, if they think that they have lowered health care costs for Hoosiers across the state, if they think that they resolved the more than $2 billion of medical debt in the state of Indiana, if they think that they resolved funding for our public schools and raising teacher pay, if they think that they did improve the quality of life for Hoosiers, then why be afraid of running on those ideas? But let me tell you this, when a political party runs out of ideas, they get to revert to social divisive issues because that's the only way they can win. They want to divide us, and by the way, these are not my words. When you have a lieutenant governor who claims that if 3/5 of a person was progress for our nation, you understand what they mean. My friends, to conclude, let me share this with you. As a student of history, when I look at 400 years of history in our nation, I can't be more, accurate than placing the current situation in the correct political context of 400 years. Pay attention to what redistricting truly means. This is not just about District 1 or District 7. Let's not be emotional and be very clinical about our assessment of what they're trying to accomplish. Trump is unpopular even in Indiana. And he will lose Congress in 2026. He will lose Congress. What does redistricting mean to them? It means bringing us back to the Jim Crow laws. They don't want a Voting Rights Act. They don't want a Civil Rights Act. They don't want Medicaid. They want to purge people off of Medicaid. They want to get rid of Medicare. They want to take us back precisely to the era right before the accomplishments of the Civil Rights Movement. In their dictionary, they refer to it as the good old boy days, the good old days. So these maps that were released today by the House Republicans, if they were doing the right thing, why be afraid and only release it 30 minutes or an hour before they meet, or 2 hours before they meet? They knocked it behind closed doors, away from your eyes, because they are afraid of you, because the power lies in your hands. Let's say it very clearly. This is a racist initiative. It is racially motivated. It intends to get rid of the voices of minorities and people who disagree politically with the governor and the Speaker of the House. And let's be very clear. A convicted felon in the White House cannot and should not politically extort Indiana to withhold funding unless we pledge loyalty to him. We were here before gerrymandering. We fought as a nation for 400 years. Our nation is the story of progress, and there are sometimes setbacks, but we hope that we'll have more progress than setbacks. And they are afraid of your power. So my message to you, they can manipulate lines, they can move lines, they can erase lines, but they can't erase the will of the